Imagine this. A busy hospital, right? Smack in the middle of an emergency. A doctor desperately needs a patient's allergy information, could be life or death. But then, bang, the system freezes. No data. Nothing. Why? Because a cyber attack, specifically distributed denial of service, or DDoS attack, it's just completely shut down the electronic medical record system. Okay, so let's unpack this a bit. Today we're diving deep into some really quite groundbreaking research. It's a Ph.D. thesis by Anoop Kolsur from Chowdhury Charan Singh University in India, and it's all about how artificial intelligence, specifically a new method they're calling continuous neural networks, or CoNN, might be a genuine game changer, in stopping these devastating cyber attacks on electronic medical records, EMRs.
Exactly. And what's so critical, really, about this research is that it tackles a problem that's just, well, it's escalating rapidly. We're going to explore this growing threat of DDoS attacks on our healthcare systems, why our current defenses are, frankly, struggling, and how this novel AI approach aims to create a proactive, real-time shield. So our deep dive today is really about understanding the core problem, the innovative solution proposed here, and, importantly, why it truly matters to you, to their safety, and the security of your medical data.
EMRs, they've completely revolutionized healthcare, no question. Made patient data way easier to access, centralized information, improved care coordination, all good things. But that incredible digitization, it also paints a huge bullseye for cybercriminals.
A mess.
EMRs hold incredibly sensitive patient data, PHI they call it. Makes them a really lucrative target. We're talking everything from data breaches to ransomware.
Which we hear about all the time.
Exactly. But our focus today is specifically on DDoS attacks. Just imagine a flood of digital noise, digital traffic so overwhelming it just shuts down an entire hospital system. Makes critical patient information completely inaccessible.
Right when you need it most.
Precisely. And this isn't just about, financial loss, though that's part of it. It's about actual patient care. Delays in diagnoses, interrupted treatments, frighteningly, even lives potentially endangered. Healthcare systems are uniquely vulnerable because they just have to be available 24/7.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, this isn't theoretical, like you said. The data shows it clearly. During the COVID-19 pandemic, for instance, healthcare cybersecurity was stretched to its absolute limit. We saw specific examples, real-world ones, like the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. They experienced a DDoS attack that actually disrupted their COVID-19 responses.
Wow.
Yeah. And there was also a ransomware attack, slightly different but related in impact on Brno University Hospital. Yeah. That directly led to postponing surgeries, appointments, just grinding things to a halt.
Real consequences.
Absolutely. These aren't just anecdotes. They highlight direct impacts on patient care and just basic operational continuity when these systems go down. And what makes EMR so vulnerable? Well, it isn't just the tech itself, interestingly. It often stems from things like insecure data transmission, maybe a lack of proper encryption, weak authentication, simple passwords, no multi-factor authentication, unpatched software vulnerabilities.
Usual suspects sometimes.
The usual suspects, yes. But it's also the human element. Insufficient cybersecurity training for staff, for example, poor access control people, sharing logins, things like that, and inadequate incident response plans, like what do you do when it happens? And consider this fact. Only a tiny fraction, maybe 4 to 7% of a typical IT budget goes to cybersecurity in healthcare.
That low. Really?
It often is. And it makes you wonder, doesn't it? Are we truly prepared for the scale of this threat?
So, okay, if the threat is that dire, why aren't our current security measures cutting it? I mean,
right.
We have firewalls, right? We have intrusion detection systems. Aren't they supposed to be the protectors?
You'd think so, but the reality is that traditional security measures often fall short.
How so?
Well, firewalls, for instance, they can be bypassed by more advanced malware, and they don't really do anything about insider threats.
Right, if the threat's already inside.
Exactly. And intrusion detection systems, IDSs, they can generate so many false alarms. IT teams get what they call alert fatigue, just too much noise.
So they start ignoring them or miss the real one.
Precisely. And crucially, they often detect after the attack has already started or even succeeded. They're reactive, not proactive. Modern cyber attacks are they're too sophisticated for static rules. They evolve constantly.
And that's where AI comes in, presumably.
That's exactly where AI steps in. And this leads us to a fundamental challenge in cybersecurity. How do you detect something abnormal if normal itself keeps changing?
Good point. Network traffic isn't static.
Not at all. So anomaly detection, which is really the core of Anoop Kolsur's research here, it's all about identifying patterns that significantly deviate from what's expected. In cybersecurity terms, an anomaly could be a sudden massive spike in data transfer, or maybe the use of network protocols you've never seen
So
before.
these just look weird.
Things that look weird, exactly. And AI, particularly deep learning, is incredibly good at this. It can analyze truly vast amounts of data, spot these super complex patterns, and this is key, adapt to evolving threats. Deep learning is especially good at modeling high-dimensional data, which is precisely what network traffic from EMRs is. It's complex stuff.
Okay.
Now, the real insight here and the gap this thesis aims to fill, many existing models, they kind of overlook the real-time implementation challenges, especially in large-scale healthcare systems.
The practical side of things.
The practical side, yes. They also tend to miss out on, say, hybrid AI approaches, combining different techniques, and they often don't focus enough on detection latency.
How fast they spot the problem.
Exactly how fast. Milliseconds matter here. This thesis tackles those critical limitations head on.
Which brings us right to the heart of it, the continuous neural network, or CoNN, methodology. So
Yeah.
this isn't just, another AI model off the shelf. It's designed specifically for this real-time adaptive defense needed in places like healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
So what is CoNN, really? Imagine a neural network that can, learn on the go without needing to be completely retrained every single time a new attack pattern pops up.
That's the goal, continuous learning.
Right. That's the power. It's capable of processing live data streams with minimal latency, minimal delay, and it can dynamically adapt as attack patterns change.
Okay, so how does it work at a high level?
Yeah, high level.
Yeah.
The system takes in the live network traffic from the EMRs. Then it uses convolutional neural networks, CNNs, to spot spatial patterns. Think of CNNs like advanced pattern recognition specialists. They look for specific shapes or characteristics in the data flow, sort of like how they identify objects in images.
Okay, pattern matching.
Exactly. Then, long short-term memory networks, LSTMs, they analyze the sequence of events over time. So while the CNN sees the snapshot, the LSTM understands the sort of evolving story of the network traffic. It has memory.
The context over time.
Precisely. And finally, the CoNN layer itself takes over for the real-time decision-making. It continuously updates its understanding of normal versus attack based on the very latest data coming in.
Right. To make that maybe a bit more relatable,
Mm-hmm.
think about credit card fraud detection. A single big purchase might be fine, right?
That depends on the person.
Exactly. But maybe a string of small, weird purchases, then a huge one, all at odd hours, different places. That combination screams fraud, right? It's a multivariate outlier.
Okay, I see the analogy.
Yeah, that combination is what signals fraud. The CoNN model is doing something similar, but for network traffic. It integrates these powerful AI tools, CNNs for patterns, LSTMs for sequence. It's not just flagging an anomaly, it's classifying what kind of DDoS attack it is. Is it a SYN flood, an HTTP flood, something else? And it's doing that classification in real time.
That's impressive.
It is. And this layered design, plus that continuous feedback loop for learning, that's really why it stands out. It seems to offer, based on the research, superior performance compared to traditional machine learning and even other deep learning methods.
Okay, so CoNN spots an anomaly, maybe identifies a specific DDoS attack. What happens next? Does it just send an alert?
It does more than that. The research outlines a whole framework. It goes beyond just detection to active mitigation.
Mitigation meaning?
Meaning stopping or reducing the impact of the attack.
Got it.
So we're talking about a system that can automatically start filtering out the malicious traffic. It can block the suspicious IP addresses, sending the attack traffic. It could even dynamically allocate more resources, more server power to the EMR system to help it handle the load while the attack's being dealt with.
So it fights back, essentially.
It fights back automatically. The system triggers immediate alerts. Sure, email, SMS, a dashboard notification, whatever you configure. But then it takes those pre-configured actions. And that rapid automated response, absolutely vital in healthcare. Every millisecond counts. Yeah, the ability to act fast and adaptively, it's paramount. The sources mention a real case, a U.S. academic trauma center. They had a DDoS attack that led to 25 days of EMR downtime.
25 days, it's catastrophic.
Catastrophic. Affected 5,000 computers, patient care just ground to a halt. The research really highlights that without a system like CoNN, traditional defenses would just be completely swamped by something like that.
Just overwhelmed.
Totally overwhelmed. Now, the expected results for CoNN in this research, they're pretty impressive. They're talking over 95% accuracy in detection. And with remarkably low latency, less than 50 milliseconds for classifying that traffic in real time.
That's almost instant.
Practically instant. And that low latency is absolutely key for that rapid response we talked about. It also shows strong scalability in the models. able to handle millions of packets per second while keeping that high accuracy, which demonstrates, real resilience against even massive attacks.
And what about new attacks? Stuff it hasn't seen before.
That's another really interesting part, its adaptability.
Yeah.
So when they tested it with a new unseen attack type, the model's initial detection accuracy was around 88%. Not bad, but not perfect.
Okay.
But after just a few retraining iterations using its own feedback loop to learn from the new data, that accuracy jumped to 94%.
Wow, so it learns fast.
It learns fast. It demonstrates this ability to continuously learn and protect against evolving threats, including what we call zero-day attacks, the brand new stuff.
Okay, AI sounds amazing here, but
Yeah.
it's never quite that simple, is it? There must be challenges,
Yeah.
especially when you're talking about something as complex, as critical as real-time healthcare security.
Oh, absolutely. There are definitely hurdles.
The source material points out a big one. Data imbalance, what's that about?
Right. Data imbalance is a common problem in machine learning, especially anomaly detection. Imagine you're training a system to spot a cyber attack, but maybe 99% or even more of the data it sees is perfectly normal network traffic.
Okay.
It's like trying to teach a child to recognize a cat by showing them 100 pictures of dogs and only one picture of a cat.
Ah, right. They'll get really good at recognizing dogs.
Exactly. The system might get biased towards normal and struggle to correctly identify that rare but critical cat, the actual attack. It might dismiss it as noise.
So how does this research deal with that?
They address it using specific techniques, things like class weight adjustment, which basically tells the model to pay more attention to the rare attack examples, or creating synthetic samples, generating artificial but realistic-looking attack data to give the rare patterns more visibility so the AI can learn them effectively.
Okay. Clever ways to balance the scales.
Essentially, yes. Another challenge, of course, is just the sheer computational power needed for these advanced AI models.
They're hungry.
They can be. While CoNN offers these incredible benefits, it does generally require more powerful hardware compared to older, simpler methods. That's a practical consideration. And, as these models get more sophisticated, another really important question comes up. How do you make sure you can actually understand why the model made a certain decision? Especially in a sensitive area like healthcare.
The black box problem.
Exactly. The need for explainable AI, or XAI, is growing fast. You need to be able to trust and verify its judgments.
Makes sense.
But overall, this deep dive really shows how AI could potentially revolutionize healthcare security, moving us away from just reacting to attacks towards proactive, real-time defense. It's about empowering healthcare systems with intelligent tools. Tools that don't just detect threats, but also learn and adapt continuously, improving their defense posture against attackers who are also constantly getting smarter. And ultimately, all of this contributes to that broader goal, ensuring data integrity, keeping systems available when they're needed most, and protecting patient safety in our increasingly digital healthcare world.
So, wrapping this up, what does this all mean for you, the listener? Anoop Kolsur's research into CoNN and EMR security. Well, it isn't just some abstract academic exercise, is it?
Not at all.
It feels like a really critical step towards a future where your most sensitive health information, your EMRs, are protected by intelligent, continuously learning defenses, maybe giving you a bit more peace of mind in this digital age.
Absolutely. And I think this research highlights not just the sheer power of AI, but also the profound ethical responsibility that comes with deploying it, especially in critical infrastructure like healthcare. As we continue to digitize pretty much every aspect of our lives, the core question, maybe something for you to ponder, is this. How can we, as a society, make sure that these technologies, the ones designed to protect us, are also transparent enough, resilient enough, and that they're continuously evolving in a way that truly puts human well-being first, above everything else?